going to start with a little bit of a cliche, and you'll recognize it. Why is this Kislev different from all other Kislevs? We all know the answer to that, of course. It doesn't take 4 questions, and it certainly doesn't take a whole Haggadah. On any other Kislev, Sha'ari Tikva would be busy planning our communal in-person Hanukkah festivities at the synagogue, and I probably would have already sent in my reservation. Last year, we gathered as a community to light candles, to sing together, to eat together. And on any other Kislev, my family and your families would be busy preparing for a large and festive Thanksgiving, the more the merrier. Now this year, of course, it's a little different. I'll get to that more so. Kislev comes at the start of winter, and it's a crummy day today, so that fits, okay. It was sunny earlier, but it's a dreary time in Northeast Ohio. At the same time, the happy holidays of Thanksgiving and Hanukkah usually help us to compensate for the snow and ice, the cold winds, the lack of sunshine. After the busy and solemn months of Elul and Tishrei and the holiday-free month of Cheshvan, Kislev is a month of fun holidays, and then more to the point, marked especially by family and community togetherness. Now, in the world that we're living in right now, in this Kislev, that very togetherness is fraught with anxiety. So I'll share my screen briefly, more to the point, Laura will share her screen briefly, to show you some pictures from last year. Oh, hold on, okay. And now on the top, you'll see part of our, actually, I don't think that's last year, but it's recent, part of our Hanukkah celebration at Sha'ari Tikva, and then all of the candles, all of the menorahs lit, and it was really beautiful. And on the
Laura, would you mind trying to share the screen just one more time? I'm not sure that we can see it.
You have to be careful to share the right. You got it now?
There we go. Thank you. Oh, I love it.
Okay, on the top you see all the menorahs, and that was beautiful. On the bottom now, with the home that Bob was at, Windsor Heights, last year they had a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner for the families. And you can see we're all dressed up, and the tables are set festively, and we were smiling and having a lot of fun. So that was last year. Okay, now we're going to stop sharing the screen. But the point is that that's what we did last year. And this year it's different. We can't responsibly gather in those large numbers in close proximity or without masks. We can't do it. These are very real losses. We've all lost. You know, we miss doing things that way. At the same time, so on, I've been telling you how bad it is in a way. But at the same time, we will make do, we will compromise, we will get through this, and I have a positive message. What positive message can we get from this very different Kislev, and from all the other months, actually, the last not half a year since March 2020? Well, to answer that, I'm going to go back to post-biblical days. And I had a thought, really, and I happened to share it with the rabbi, if he remembers, but as soon as we started having to do things differently, I thought, this is not the first time that Judaism has been reworked and reinvented. When we lost the Second Temple, the rabbis at the time, they had to go back to the drawing board, so to speak, and we couldn't bring sacrifices to the temple, so the rabbis found new ways to be Jewish. The Sanhedrin couldn't meet in the diaspora, so the rabbis found new ways to help us observe the laws of Judaism. So here we are, 2,000 years later, still following that ancient wisdom of those early rabbis. In the same vein, in 2020, and on Facebook, they had a group, rabbis all over the world dreamed up the high holidays. They called it dreaming up high holidays. And I, of course, I just followed some of that just for fun. But they didn't cancel the high holidays, they reinvented them. And similarly, working together, we will dream up a creative Thanksgiving. We'll do it differently, but we'll do something, a creative Hanukkah, and going forward, a creative winter. And I hope this doesn't last much longer. But as I said, we will make do, we will compromise, and we will all get through this. The good news is twofold. First, unlike the tragedy of losing our temple, today's losses are temporary. This pandemic will end. It really will end, okay? Correct, David? Okay. And we will be able to meet in person again one day. And second of all, after the pandemic is over, some of us have been talking, privately, we can learn from some of these things. We can learn from the things that worked and enhance some of our practices, maybe having a combination of in-person shivas and allowing people from far away who can't come in to Zoom in, for example. We can borrowing a page from the early rabbis. We can make things better. So the changes are not all bad. Some of them are really good and helpful. What we are doing right now, for example, this particular Rosh Hodesh session, we're getting together for brief 15-minute sessions in our own homes. And this is something that we can continue doing perhaps for a long, long time after the pandemic is over. I think it's great. On the other hand, I can't wait for the day when it's a choice and not a pandemic constraint. And as you all know, I just had a funeral. It wasn't the ideal funeral. The rabbi keeps apologizing to me for it, but I just had a funeral for my husband under these constraints, and it's not what I would have chosen. So some things are going to go back to normal, I hope. Since I began with a cliche, I'll end with another one. I pray that we all learn to make lemonade with the lemons that we have been handed. So thank you, Rabbi.